Hey everybody, Mel Bell here with your angel reading for the month of November. I will not be doing weeklies for the month of November, so I did want to come to you and give you this message. Please do like, share, subscribe, comment. I love reading your comments. I appreciate your support and for watching, and I hope that you have gotten value from watching these videos and getting this guidance, keeping in mind that these angel readings are coming from the angels. I am the vessel. I am just expressing what they want to say to you. I have asked Archangel Michael to please put a hedge of protection around us and help, and asked all the angels to help make sure that we can get what we need from this message. So here we go. So firstly, in the self position, ask and receive. Ask and receive, y'all. So interestingly, wow, this is a very clear reading. So starting with, you're in the self position, right? Ask and receive. Ask and receive. Now, when we ask, it's very important that we're asking with the correct intention. Situation is power and intention, okay? So I do these both at the same time because sometimes, especially like if you're praying, if you're asking for help, if you're trying to manifest or put it out there, this is what I want to see happen, it is done so in a way of kind of like begging, please let this, or from that level. And that's almost like saying I want this, but you're not going to give it to me. You are expressing an opposing energy. It's a push-pull. So you may find that things that want to come to you may come to you, but only a part of it. But it's often what we are willing to receive. How much of that are we willing to actually accept? So when we are asking and intending to receive, we have to be seeing ourselves with our arms wide open for the whole thing. So focusing on that, practicing that, questioning yourself. Am I really open to receiving this? Or is this in opposition to this? Is this going to change what's going on over here? Because there can be fear that if you get what it is you're asking for, it is going to change relationships. It's going to change your home life, your job. You have to make sure that you are willing for things to change, because oftentimes, especially if we're asking for something big, things have to change. And sometimes it's just us that has to change, but it can also be situations that we're in that have to change. And the incoming energy is harmony and resolution, okay? So I feel like in November, you are probably going to be doing some good work internally. Like, I don't know, journaling, healing, some kind of healing modality, journaling, or really asking for the help to lift yourself up. And really honestly allowing that. Now, the challenge is trusting. Okay? Because that is also can be what will block you from receiving what you're asking for. And that is trusting that what you're about to give me is going to be good. It's not going to be a coming storm. It's going to be good. And there's a strong, high level of trust when you are asking divine beings to provide something to you that you really want, because you are removing yourself from the control of it. And that takes trust. So, in the near future, raising your vibration. So I feel like what I said about harmony and resolution coming in is going to allow you to raise your vibration. It's going to help you level up. I see that happening in November. It's interesting that both of these cards, they have their hands up. Like that is a very powerful position of the body to have your hands up like that. It is a very it is a way to physically express receiving. So think about that. And your wild card, y'all, expect miracles. So just because you want something that doesn't seem possible or doesn't make sense to work out for you, doesn't mean it can't work out for you. There can be some great, wild, wonderful surprise that happens to make things come into place for you. You have to have an inkling of a belief that miracles are possible, and that things can happen miraculously and change miraculously. It doesn't have to just be what it looks like it's going to be. That is a trick. And if you are a spiritual person and you are walking a spiritual path, you have to accept that things aren't always going to work out the logical way. Things happen in beautiful, mystical ways for you. And embrace that. Embrace that. Let's go. Let's do it. What wonderful thing might be waiting for me around the corner that I'm not aware of? Archangels wanted to come out, so we're going to honor that and see what they have to say for the month of November. Please do like, share, subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, yeah. So I do feel like some of you are really asking for help with finances, increased prosperity, abundance, really needing some help there. And Archangel Ariel is a good archangel to work with, Ariel, to help you. Okay, so really try to keep yourself open to the possibility of there being enough to go around. The powers that be right now that are trying to force upon us this belief that if I succeed, you can't succeed. Or if I take this money, I am taking it out of your hand. Money flows, you guys. Money flows. Resources are abundant. Do not believe what they're trying to tell you, that there are not enough resources to go around. There's hoarding that does try to choke the flow, okay? But that is inauthentic. That is not the way of the universe. So trust the universe. Trust the way of the universe. Things can work out for you. Clear audience from Archangel Zadkiel. Notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. So you may find that you're having conversations with people that are synchronistic in nature. You are seeing things on television that are synchronistic in nature, or overhearing conversations as you're walking in the grocery store, and also just thoughts in your mind that are profound, and you're like, oh, why didn't I? Yeah, I did think of that. That was me. That I'm thinking about that. That's your higher self. That's your higher self communicating to you. And if you have an idea, of something that you want to do, if you are inspired, if you find yourself inspired in November, follow through with that. Archangel Uriel is I can't say my favorite angel, but he is, because I don't have a favorite. But he is my buddy. Archangel Uriel is very cool in the way that he carries a lantern and he will light your way. So you might not see the full broad path and know exactly all the steps, but he will light a few steps ahead. So you'll see what direction to go into. Now we're going to go ahead and ask a question from the angels. So please clear your mind. I'm not going to ask a question. It'll mess up the reading. So, but I encourage you to please ask your question. You can feel free to pause this. Keep in mind that angels don't work in time. They don't work in our time. They work outside of time. So you can pause this and ask your question right now and play and get the answer for that question. That's how it works, because that's how they work. It's a whole quantum physics kind of thing. All right, angels, please answer the question that's on our heart and give us the answer. Thank you in advance for your help. All right, here we go. There it is. Unlikely. So if you're asking about something, we're going to ask, can I get a follow-up? I think sometimes the timing is not right. What we think we want is not what is meant to be, and it might be something better. So a good thing to do is when you're asking for help for something, to leave open for this or something better. So I'm taking this card as saying to me, if you're asking for something that you really want and you're asking if it's going to work out, that do not be discouraged. Do not be discouraged. It's just that maybe what you think is going to make everything better is not the thing, and you have to keep open for the infinite possibilities, because abundance is infinite. Abundance is not this one thing is what's the answer for my whole life. This is what's going to make everything better. Is there just one thing in the whole wide universe that could be the answer? Because that might not be the case. There could be something better. Also, you might have needed to hear this. It could have been that you asked a question about so-and-so and I gonna break up. And it's like, unlikely. Who knows? This is your message, it's your answer. But I did pull a couple other cards just in case. Ask for help from others and big happy changes. Okay? So I would advise when it comes to, excuse me, asking for help from others, it could be from angels, from your divine beings, your divine team, or it can be your sister, or it could be a therapist. It could be your boss. It could be you needing to delegate some tasks. Whatever it is, it depends on you and your personal situation, okay? So if it doesn't fit for you, don't try to force it to fit. Keeping in mind, this is a general reading for a bunch of people. And so wherever it fits is where you should receive it. And you can also, reflect on this in a week or so. See if it still rings true to you, or if now it makes more sense. I have found myself that I flow in and out of readings from readers. So there'll be a reader that'll read for me and I will be like, this is so great and on target. And it's like that for a while, and then suddenly we fall out. It stops resonating. If you stop resonating with a reading that I'm giving you, that is okay. There are plenty of people on YouTube that can give you a message. Okay, I am the messenger. I am receiving and giving the message. Don't force a message that's not intended for you, because there's all these divine beings, and in this case, angels, that are flooding information sources so that we can all be answered and helped. Okay, so may the angels be with you as they always are, and have a lovely November. Take care. Bye.